Problem number 4.
Right. What I'm going to do is, the first step here is to multiply exponents. Now here's the rule on this. You listen carefully. You can only multiply exponents if there is no addition or subtraction in the parentheses. You need to know that. You can only multiply exponents if there is no addition or subtraction in the parentheses. Some of you know that, all right? There is no addition or subtraction in here, so I can multiply exponents. So don't forget there's a 1 there, isn't there? So this is negative 3 times 1, negative 3 times positive 2, right? Negative 3 times negative 2. Okay? And now does everyone know that a negative exponent means reciprocal? You know that? So the y to the 6 stays on top. And what do I write down here? 7 what? Cubed x to the 6th. Because your negative exponent means reciprocal. Is that clear? Now, you never multiply exponents if there is addition in the parentheses or subtraction. Because those problems are done completely different. You know, if you had this, never multiply exponents. This problem means this. And this, you know this is done a completely different way, don't you? This times this times this, and all that. Very, very different. Is this clear to everyone? Okay, I'm trying to make the rules clear to you. All right? So that you multiply exponents because there's no addition or subtraction in your parentheses. Okay, I'm going to go to problem 6. I'm trying to pick the most important problems. It says the sum of a number and 4. What does sum mean? And a number would be what?
X.
And the sum of a number and 4? 4. Is decreased, what does decrease mean? Decreased by 20. And the result is, the word is means what? Equal? Result is 32. Okay, so I'm just going to solve this equation. 4 minus 20 happens to be what? Negative 16, right? And now I want to isolate my x. So to isolate that, I use the opposite, right? I use the opposite. And I get x is equal to what? 48. That's called a solution. Okay, number 7. That's an important problem.
I think you skipped 5.
Yeah, I intentionally skipped 5 because there are more important problems. We have other problems that are similar to 5, and don't worry, they'll take the place of that. X squared minus 11x plus 28 equals 0. Now, this is called factoring a trinomial. Factoring a trinomial. If you're not good at factoring a trinomial, you go to this website. You go to this website. And there are 12 problems on that website. And that website shows you every step. And it's animated. They move. Things move. You will be better than your teacher after you're finished watching those 12 problems. All right? Well, maybe better than me too with your young minds. All right? So this is how you factor a trinomial. You go to that and you click on factoring trinomials and you just sit and watch it and eat your Snickers bar and just sit and watch it. And you'll really learn how to do this. Okay, now I'm going to show you. Watch. This is the method. This is an equation, isn't it? Did I copy that right? I think it's an equation, isn't it? Okay, so I need to solve this equation. Now, I'm looking at the 28, and I'm thinking, what's my common choice for two numbers that give me a product of 28? And probably 4 times 7, right?
4 and 7.
4 times 7. Okay, so I'm going to write a 4 here and a 7 here. Right? And then I'm going to draw 2 loops. Now, the reason I'm doing this is to get the signs correct. This will help you get the signs correct. Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to write 4x, And this outer loop is what? 7x. I'm going to draw a line. And do you see the middle term, everybody? See the middle term?
Negative.
I'm going to take that and I'm going to write it on the bottom. See what I did? Now, these two have to add up to this. They have to add up to this. So they both have to be negative, don't they? And so, you see this loop here? 4 times x. This says that has to be a negative answer. You see that? Do you see the 7 times x? This says it has to be a negative answer. And then, of course, you check your two numbers on the right. When you multiply those, you do get positive 28, don't you? Okay, now, since this is an equation, there's a little more to do. Okay, what you want to do then is you want to set this equal to 0. Remember doing this in class? Okay, we're going to learn this tomorrow in our class. All right. So I add 4, so I get x is 4. Here I add 7, and I add 7, and I get x is 7. So the answers are 4 and 7. The answers are 4 and 7. Okay, this problem 8 says simplify x squared minus x minus 42 all over x minus 7. A couple important things here for me to tell you. Couple important things here. You cannot reduce anything unless it's part of a multiplication. You cannot reduce anything unless it's part of a multiplication. That's called a factor, isn't it? It's called a factor. So on the bottom, x minus 7 doesn't factor, does it? What's something called when it doesn't factor?
Prime.
Prime. So you know what I teach my students? The whole thing becomes a factor. Now the x minus 7 is part of a multiplication, isn't it? Do you see? Now the top, I need to factor that, and that factor is using what? 6 times 7 is 42, right? 6 times 7. And if I draw my little loops, here, let's say I draw my little loops, right? Here and here. And you see the middle term, everyone?
Yeah.
I'm repeating this. The middle term is minus 1x, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
What do the signs have to be to add up to minus 1?
Positive 6.
Very good, excellent. You see, if you use this little chart, you will never get your signs wrong again. You will never get your signs wrong. So the 6x has to be positive, right? See the 7x? That has to be what? Negative. And that works. Now, do you notice these match, don't they? These match. So I can cancel them out because aren't they a part of a multiplication? It's the only time you can cancel. So the answer is x plus 6. The mistake that some students might make is they might try to cancel a 7 and the 42. Or who knows what. They may try to cancel the x's, or students get real creative. All right?